Looks like we're live here with Life with Brock. I'm on my workbench, aka the kitchen table, and I'm just gonna do a little bit of custom work right here, or I should say custom prep. So this isn't gonna be anything exciting, but I needed to do it, and I figured I'd come and hang out and see who's still awake. Who is still awake? Nobody. Nobody's here. I hope I made this public. Well, for those of you that are not going to be watching this live, I am going to finally finish this guy up. I got quite a bit of joint prep to do on this guy. I started this guy almost 2 years ago, and I should have done joint prep before I kit bashed the figure, but I didn't. Oh well. So people should be getting their notifications. Maybe you guys will join me, maybe you won't. There's somebody in here right now. What's up, whoever it is? How's the video feed, if you don't mind letting me know? I'm going on my iPad to see how it looks. And survey says it's kind of, oh, it's coming in okay, it looks like. All right, let me turn on some music. Gotta figure out how to do better lighting in here. I guess I just need my workspace to be well lit. That's about as good as I'm going to be able to get it right now. So what I'm going to be working on is, now I'm going to work on this Silver Surfer. I'm going to joint prep them the best that I can. I'm going to fill in the peg holes here. Sand where I think needs to be sanded down. And then, which is probably not going to be tonight, then I'm gonna prep them for the spastics. Let me get to the subscriptions. I'm trying to find the free music. All right, here we go. Audio library. Playlist. All right, here we go. For those of you who have never used a Dremel before, make sure that you're always wearing safety goggles. Not sure if I accidentally. Oh, there we go. What's up, Wyatt? I think I may use some epoxy sculpt on. You guys saw the failed attempt to the liquid chrome, and you can kind of see the bullseye coming through here. And I think if I sand them down, it's actually gonna show. So I'm gonna probably mix some sculpt. Yeah, I think that the emblem, I think it's showing through. So that's something else I'm gonna have to work on. And aside from getting all these down, what I noticed also on the Silver Surfer, what's up, big kid? What I also noticed in the Silver Surfer is that there's a lot of mold lines that I think I just want to see if by showing a little love by sanding them down, if I can get rid of them. So in the event that you guys want to try to repaint your Silver Surfer, that may be something you want to do. I also want to add toe articulation to this guy. And at the same time, put a magnet right here. I want to be able to put the magnet on his toe because I want to get him in that silver surfer pose, and I need him to be on his toes. Hey, what's up, Rashawn? What's up, Toy Thief? What's up, Logan? Thanks for joining up. Wyatt said up. And Logan, go back and check out the video from yesterday. If you only have a few minutes, go catch the first few minutes and you will see the paint it did not harden up and I wasn't able to use it, unfortunately. All right, let me clean off my glasses and I'm gonna start doing a little bit of dremeling. Where did my Dremel bits go? Yeah, it did look great, that chrome finish. Now, some people are telling me, oh, you can put a finish on it that is intended for chrome paints, but I haven't seen actually someone have success with it. Some people have tried to use different types of paints, and they've said that it's worked and it's shiny and etc. But it wasn't the Molotov, and the guy that I saw do this on Instagram, Divot'add, go check him out. He does good custom work. His, for some reason, worked. He told me that he didn't, that he just worked on not putting too much on. And he says he makes sure that his hands are clean when he's dealing with the figure, when he's touching it. But just my experience with it was it was just not going to work out. It just left too many marks, and then the paint was going to rub off. By the way, if you don't know about Open Box Mafia, this is Eric Eisner sent me this sticker. Thank you, Eric. I actually sent me a couple of them. It's a Facebook group, a bunch of nerds that like to collect toys. They talk Star Wars, Marvel Legends, SH figure arts, all the stuff that's being released. If you're interested in a group, that's a good one. People like to interact in there. I've had fun interacting with that group. ¿Qué tal, Rafael? Bienvenido. Let me get the right bit for this. There we go. So I'm gonna shave these down. So I need to have something small. So that may work, but that's gonna be the wrong bit for it. I bought myself, you see the Dremel bit right there? I can put that one in, so that way it will grip this guy right here. And then this guy, see how it's thicker than that? That one's gonna fit in the one I have in there already. And maybe I'll use this one when I get to the big guy. Somebody's mentioned they've seen the Juggernaut that I kit bash quite a while in the end of my videos, and I haven't touched him, and I think I'm gonna finally work on getting him done. I'll leave that one out. Okay. So I'm trying to do this real time. It would have been probably better for me in the sense of just watching it go, seeing a completed product, if I filmed it and then edited it down, but then you don't really get an idea of how long it takes to complete these projects. Oh, how about camera work? And I will try to be more interactive with this one. So if you're making comments, I will be responding to them tonight, because it doesn't take a lot of brain work on this one. I haven't touched, Logan, I haven't touched Bizarro and Superman in a while. I am going to have to, because I keep on getting ideas for customs and then I start doing the kit bash. What I'm gonna do is I'm gonna finish. So my plan is, I'm gonna finish the Silver Surfer, because all the parts are in. I really don't have to custom much, other than I'm gonna add toe articulation, add magnets, and then I have to paint him up, finish the board up, put magnets on the board, finish him up. Then I may either finish the Juggernaut or Iceman. Iceman will be probably easier to finish because all I really have to do is paint him up. And then I'm going to finish with him. I finally ended up getting with, one of those airbrush booths, so I'm going to use airbrush, and we'll see how that goes. This one may be more of like what I did with Thanos, that I did a little bit of editing, because that process is very time consuming, and I need to focus because I'm not really good at it. What's up, Jason? All right, cool, man. What's up, Chris? All right, let me put... Start with this guy. Let's start with that guy. And this is kind of difficult to do film because I have my phone. Actually, I'm going to take my phone off the battery right now, the charger, so I can have a little bit more room to work with. All right. Let me see what you guys are saying real quick before I get going on here. Let me see. Rashawn asked a question. All right, so this Dremel, I think I ended up buying this guy on eBay. Sometimes you can find a very good deal. What I like about this particular Dremel, if you can see right here, Rashawn, it's got different settings. So you can go the strength, the speed. So it's got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 different settings, and it's very helpful. What I used to do is I used to have like a little tiny Dremel that I bought for like 10 bucks, and it was a very low speed. I bought it at a Harbor Freight, and that's what I would use. I used that initially for my customizing work. This would have saved me a lot of headache. This is the one you want to get if you can get a variable speed Dremel. I think I found it a good deal. You guys know I don't like spending a lot of money. I mean, I'm willing to spend the money, but remember, I'm from a third world country and I practice Brockonomics. So I think I paid like 30 bucks for this. It was a really good deal. These typically go for like 70 bucks, I think, on Amazon. So if you've never done this Dremeling before, guys, what you want to do is just, you want to be able to take off a couple of these layers down, that way when, and this one won't be as big a deal because part of the shoe will be covering a lot of the parts close to this peg. So you want to really get the outside parts here that will be visible when you start moving the figure around. And what you want to do is you want to break it down at that area right here. Let me use something to point down. You want to break it down here. So this is going to be the friction point that it's going to have when you move it. So when you take this part down and then you add the paint is not going to be contacting this area right here, and it won't rub off. And that's why these customizers that are are known for doing really good work, this is a part that they do they're very good at. So. This one's, this is a bigger one, so it's kind of hard to control sometimes. They do make an attachment that you can hold it like a stencil. I think it's called a stencil attachment. It's not a stencil. What's another word for a small pen? Stylus, I think. That's what it's called. So I'm really just trying to hit the inside part of me. Hopefully that's focused here. Let me see. It's catching Silver Surfer in the bag. So let's say that you take a little bit of a layer down. Another thing you can do is you can get a little bit of sandpaper, and then you can smooth that area out. This is going to be 600 grit. I should probably be using something a little bit stronger. So this is probably going to be like 200 to 300 right here. And if you can see how that's kind of divoted. So what I want to be able to get all that little plastic out. So now I can see, and I'm not sure if you're able to see it in the camera. There you go. That won't be making any contact, but this part will, so I need to work on it some more. Try to do it over here. I know you heard me say that it's not so easy doing this in front of the camera because it's just not very comfortable. I'll try to use this as a little bit of leverage. Yeah, Rashawn, I saw that Canada revealed obviously Canadian-based figures. That Wolverine does look pretty cool. It looks like they filled in the peg holes, right? Or was just the angle that I couldn't see? It looked like they filled in the peg holes, but I could be wrong about that. But I kind of I want to get that Wendigo. I think that's probably going to be the Build-A-Figure. I wish it was just coming on its own because I just recently got a Sasquatch Build-A-Figure, and I was going to use him for an M'Baku custom. But after seeing the Wendigo, I think I'd rather use that one because the base paint is already going to be there. So I think I may hold off and do M'Baku later, and I'm going to keep the Sasquatch, and I'm just going to do a repaint of the Sasquatch to make him look a little bit, you know, grittier, give the original paint some depth. I saw a recent repaint of him by Mike De La Paz, and of course that guy's a genius where it comes to painting. And what he does is he put in a base coat. He uses, I forget the name, Bondi I think it was called. I couldn't find it, but it's probably going to be just the same, you know, type of finish. I can't remember if it was glossy or matte. It may have been glossy. And then just, you know, do some painting and washes on that figure because the sculpt's really nice already. And then I'll just hold off on doing the M'Baku until later. What's up, Alex? The Toy Thief, the action figure wish list, the one that's on my hit list right now is the Thing. I'm waiting for that one to hit. I think I'm also going to get Magic when that comes. I pre-ordered the Archangel. And then I'm looking to get some old figures. Matter of fact, I just picked up a Pyro on eBay for like $12. And I want to update that one. I'm going to use the harness that it comes with and the hoses and stuff. And I'm going to put them on a different body mold. I may put them on a Pizza Spidey body. I have to think through that one a little bit when I get the figure. And then one of the customs that I'm planning, that I've been planning for a while, is a Magneto custom. And I want to make a throne for him. Been done before, and it looks awesome. And I'm looking for the base for Toy Biz Iceman. It's got a Sentinel, parts of a Sentinel hand and ice, so that's on my hit list. I offered a guy $12 for it because he was missing the majority of the base, but he was selling it with another one, and he didn't want to sell it to me. I'm like, come on, man. $30 for bases? Come on, player. Not this guy right here. I came from a third world country. I know a person's got to eat, but it was a little bit expensive for me. I'm not going to spend that on the base when I know I can probably find it cheaper. I just got to be patient. What's up, Stigma? I'm repainting the the failed Silver Surfer. So I'm just joint prepping them. I didn't joint prep them when I used that Molotov. That was more of like I was just, just shooting for it because the guy that did it came out pretty nice and he didn't do any joint prep or anything like that. And I'm like going, if this doesn't work, it'll be a good experience for the people that view my channel in the customizing world that are probably not too familiar with that paint. So that's what happened, and it was a failed attempt. I appreciate that, Alex. Oh, the guilty pleasure. Yeah, I haven't seen that one yet, but you can bet your bottom dollar I'm going to be watching. If you guys don't know who Alex is, he's part of the crew from Fig Life Miami. He's definitely the funny man, and then you got the director, Abel. They make a good pair, and then the three amigos. Go check out their channel, but remember, it is for adults only. I make sure that when I watch their stuff, that I have my earplugs in if my family's around, because I'll get in trouble. My daughters will not approve. Oh, Toy Thief, how much did you pay for the Thing, man? Come on, player. How much you pay? Yeah, big kid, that would be perfect. That's what I would like to do. $4? That sounds fantastic. Oh, okay. I thought, okay, Alex, that's good. I didn't think something new had come out. I get notifications for your stuff. I know Abel's trying the gaming thing. I don't know if I'm going to be able to do that, though. I gave up gaming a while back because I can't do it with, this hobby right here. And then I started, obviously the YouTube thing. And I also read comic books on occasion. And it's just too much. Okay, so I think I'm going to be good here. When I do the base coat, when I primer it, I should say, I'll get a better idea if I missed any spots with the primer. This figure came with a lot of mold imperfections. I hope it's not already getting overused like the Bucky Cap mold did. It's a great, I really, really, really like this base figure, man. I think having the butterfly joints for this medium-sized, it's more muscular than the Pizza Spidey body. I just don't know how much I want to. I mean, seriously, look, the top customizers here. This is where they. I mean, they spent a lot of their time, guys. That's why their figures go for a premium. And by the way, I do not take commissions. I have a big boy paying job, and I couldn't do it. I just do this for fun for me, and then I would be too stressed that it wouldn't be perfect enough for you. You know, I like mine looking pretty good, but I'm definitely more forgiving on my shelf, and plus I'm getting older, so my eyesight's not as good as it used to be. But the customizers that charge a premium for their figures, you know, they take off all this stuff, and like even when they do their joint prep, like you're seeing the imperfection right there, that like the high guys, they'll remove this and they'll just shave this down, you know, to perfection. The only guy that I haven't seen do that, who is at the top of the customizing game, one of my favorite customizers, is Craig Warwick. And the times that I've seen him do some joint prep just like this. He just does it like straight on the figure. He doesn't remove anything, and his stuff is phenomenal. But that's going to be far and few in between. Really, the top dudes just don't miss on that. Now, so just you can get an idea for you beginners. I know those that you've been doing it for a while, this is not a big deal. You do this already, but you see there, it's just the plastic is not hitting, so it's not going to cause friction when there's a paint built up on that, and that's what you want. So for now, I think that's good. Move on to the next one. Yeah, Richard Red Light. What's up, Richard? What's up, After Effects? Mr. Maple? What's going on? I'm a talking head for a city. I do a lot of talking in my gig. I'm not really allowed to say what I do. It's not like it's super top secret, but my job doesn't like to mix business with pleasure, so I do not say. I just work for a city, and I do a lot of talking. Do a lot of talking on my job. This is what happens when you're old on a Saturday night, or actually a Friday night. When I was 19 and 20, I was out every weekend. I was an athlete. Any other athletes in here? I played, actually I was a collegiate baseball player. I got my schooling paid for, so I was decent. I was terrible at defense, but I could hit most of the time. So I got a scholarship to play baseball, and I've said this in the past. If you would have told me then that in 20 years I would be playing with toys and painting them and customizing them, I would have laughed in your face. Which is crazy how life changes, and what one thinks is fun. I can't even watch baseball anymore. Can't even watch baseball anymore, man. So it looks like I did a better job on this one. See how it's flatter? And this one came out like chunkier. That's not that big a deal, especially because it's going to be silver and the light's going to be reflecting off of this, and you're not really going to be able to see the imperfections, I don't think. Yeah, so it looks like, and then I think what happened was that I also shaved some of this down right here. You see right there. I really hope that some of you guys that do collect, most of you probably collect Marvel Legends, and and you probably have wanted to try customizing at some point. You've probably said, "Oh man, this if this figure had some more paint here, or even to make it a little bit more accurate to the comic or whatever it would be, or man, it would be great if we don't have this character." If you just look at some of my videos, I'm telling you right now, guys, I am not a talented person. I'm really not. I don't have the greatest ability. Nothing in my life. I'm not the smartest guy. I have a pretty high degree. I have a master's degree. But I achieved that master's degree just because I'm a hard worker. And when it comes to customizing, I don't have artistic ability. I don't have any natural ability. All I did was I researched and I talked to people and I tried to learn from them. And guess what? Then I tried to do it then I tried to do it. And then I worked and started getting a little bit of experience. So if I can do it, I know you can do it. And that's what I do too, Toy Thief. I just kind of pick up the figures that I want. I don't collect the whole entire wave. Like a matter of fact, the only one that I plan on picking up from the Venom wave is the one that I already picked up is the Spider Ham. And then when I see people make cool customs, I get they have really good ideas, and I go, man, if I can try that, I'm gonna do it. And that's how I've made some of my customs. So I'm hoping that I would like everybody that watches my stuff to give it a try. And a lot of it is, if you're gonna give it a good go at it, you need the right tools. So having a Dremel like this is definitely a good start. You need to have a good Dremel. One of my wife's uncles gave me one of his old Dremels, and that was a lifesaver because it made my jobs go by so much faster. And that wasn't even a variable speed Dremel. There's other Dremels that you can hold in different ways, like I was talking about the stylus, and it just makes life easier. The painting, the airbrushing. I tried airbrushing a couple times. That was a frustrating experience because I ended up buying a cheap one to see if I liked it, and the paint started getting clogged. And if you watch some of my stuff when I did that, because I did do some live things, so you can see some of my frustration. However, once you start getting the hang of it and the paint starts flowing out like it's supposed to, then I got a pretty good turnout, I think, on the Thanos that I did. It's one of the more popular videos that I've done from YouTube world. So you guys can do it too. Trust me, if I can do it, you can definitely do it. You just have to you're gonna have to commit some time to learn all the little deals. But if you watch my channel, if you watch the videos, it's really beginner stuff. This is beginner level stuff right here. Fume, I do have that cheap airbrush, but I have a brand new one. I think it's a Badger. I got it on a sale, like a wicked sale, man. I paid like $50 for like a $200 brush. I know I'm kind of all over the place here. I lost my train of thought. But I haven't painted since then either. What's up, Bruno? Rashawn, I haven't seen Doctor Who. That's a TV show I haven't seen yet, as I know it's a very popular one amongst the peeps. And customizing less funny, Bruno. The Chrome Pen, Mr. Maple Chat, it was a bust. Go see like the first couple minutes of the video I shot yesterday, and you'll see what happened. That's what happened right there. That's what happened right there, player. It was a definite bust. Let me try a different one, see if it works a little bit better to get to the shoulders. What's up, Alfonso? Oh, Thousand Wolves, the saber tooth on the Omega Red Buck. Dude, I have planned like 50 customs, man. I don't know. I don't even know what I'm going to be able to get to this year. But what I have committed to is I need to go to one and then move on to the other one. You know, I'm getting the Archangels coming out, and you guys saw me start kit bashing. I've kit bashed so many things. It's crazy. I also need to do the Dr. Octopus. I also have I'm just being careful right here. I'll dig into his chest there. I need to finish the Dr. Octopus. I got all the stuff that I need, and I just have to get going on it. That's going to be an easy mod. I feel like it's going to be an easy mod. I just have to, as soon as I figure out how to take off some of the metal parts on the lights that I got, then I'll be able to do that. Then I think I mentioned the Archangel. I have a Gambit custom. I have a Magneto custom. I started the Strong Guy. I have an idea for Strong Guy that I want to get after. And then I have those repaints, like the Iceman repaint that I'm working on. Those are going to be the easier customs because it's just, repainting it. What else have I planned? Oh, I have a Cyclops planned. I already have the jacket for him. I actually have a leather jacket. Oh, and then I got the DC stuff. I got Bizarro. I got Superman. Red Hood. Those guys I've pretty much joint prepped already. I just got to get after and paint. So a lot of projects to do. And I want to do a little bit more cloth goods myself. I just recently, just to let you guys know, I spent a lot of money recently on soft goods. Scotta Customs has a coat that he did for the Thing. So in anticipation of me getting that figure, I just bought the coat. It ended up costing $53, players. $53. A lot of money. But it looks awesome. He does really, really good work. I got introduced to him by Craig Warwick, who commissioned him to do a clothing for his... what's the time traveler's name? His name's slipping me right now. After Effects, I do keep a fodder bin. It's just not very organized because I'm limited in space. What's up, Art? Are you at 1,000 subs yet? Art, you would have been at 1,000 subs yet if you hadn't erased that channel a while back last year. A lot of the YouTubers that do this for fun, like I do in Art and others, they like to hit that 1,000 mark. It's almost, I don't know if it's a rite of passage or it's just a goal, an achievement, as small as it is where YouTube world is concerned. Somebody he's probably in the same boat as me. A lot of the people that watch the majority of people that watch my videos are not sub. I know that a lot of you guys are sub because you're getting the notifications that I'm going live, and especially at this time of night without me announcing it. The only way that you would have known is that you're either on YouTube and you got a notification. So you're most likely sub to my channel. I jacked up this knee pretty bad. Let me get this out here. I lost my concentration while I was talking. Let me clean that up. Yeah, King the Conqueror, Alfonso, that's right. Alex hooked me up too when I was getting there, and that was actually when they were doing the cutoff for the monetizing stuff. Not that I, make a ton of money doing this stuff. I don't. But he hooked me up. He gave me a lot of shout outs, and I think he got me like 50 subs in one day. It was awesome. It was encouraging. But what I've noticed just looking at the analytics, and again, just for fun, this is a hobby. Thankfully, I don't do this for a living. I would not be making be homeless if I was doing this for a living. Let me do some more here. But I was looking at my analytics, and I think it's like 70% or around that people that watch, that give me views, but are not subbed. Yeah, it is. Oh, shoot. Oh, falling over. Sorry about that, guys. That's the dangers of working right on top, filming right on a tripod from my phone. Where was I at? Right here. This is definitely a for fun thing. But, I got to be honest with you guys. I would love to have this channel get bigger because I like interacting with people. The more people, the merrier. The Miami guys, Fig Life Miami just hit a 2K on their channel recently. Those guys, man, they say the craziest things to each other, and I can completely identify with them because it's very guy humor, a lot of guy humor, and they'll say the absolute craziest thing to each other, and it's like a water off a duck's back. It's like drinking coffee in the morning for them. And that's why it's my guilty pleasure, man. I crack up at some of the crazy things that they say to each other. It brings me back to my youth. If people were saying stuff like that to me when I was younger, I would have been fighting them. Oh my gosh. They definitely do not take themselves seriously, which I appreciate. Some of these guys taking themselves way too serious. I guarantee you, if you saw those guys out and about and you went and said what's up to them, they'd be all for, they're not obviously into themselves or anything like that. So it'd be a good meet for you Miami folks that watch. What's up, Comic Book Beige? David Doka, what's going on? Oh, Art is at 1,000. Art made it to 1,000. Congratulations, Art. Rashawn, the Predator movie, and by the way, if I miss your comment, guys, just hit copy and paste and do it again, and hopefully I'll catch it. I'm not too into the Predator movies, so I would probably not watch it in the theater because that's not something, when I go to the theater, I'm taking my family and, I'm living with a bunch of women here, guys, and they ain't into that. However, they do like all the superhero movies, so we're typically at the movie theater seeing the superhero stuff. But I'll definitely, I'll probably take a look at, I'll probably watch it when it comes out on HBO or something. The first Predator movie is the best, man. Arnold Schwarzenegger and Jesse the Body Ventura. Are you kidding me? I ain't got time to bleed. What's the next superhero movie that's coming out? I didn't see Ant-Man and the Wasp in the theater. I did not see that. I probably should have gone and seen it. What's up, Matt? Matt Tetchucker. That's another guy that has a YouTube channel, and little did we know, for those of you that don't follow Matt Tetchucker, that guy right there that just said hello. He's got some hidden talents, man, and he's recently been bringing it out on his YouTube. Uh, he knows how to do dioramas, and he did this crazy Toys R Us diorama that I wish I could have won, that I wish I was the winner, but I didn't. I didn't win it. Harry won it, darn it. And so he's working on another diorama project right now. And so if you guys want to go learn how to do it, he does kind of like a step-by-step guide, similar to what I'm doing right here when he does his live outings. I watched this video the other day, and it's kind of similar to this. You're watching it. Look, I've been on for like 46 minutes, and all I've been doing is joint prepping. Well, he was just cutting into the foam board to make bricks and just hanging out typically like this. So if you guys are interested in diorama work, go check out his YouTube. That was a free plug for you right there, Matt. So we got Fig Life Miami, we got Art G, we got Tech Chucker. I'm trying to see if anybody else is out there. For those of you guys that are interested in watching, and if you're, go give them a chance, give them a shot. And if you don't like their stuff, then don't watch it. But if you do, then you're welcome. Let me see. Rashawn says that there's a new release of the Batman animated, the old school one, And no, I did not hear. I know that there was something recently, it wasn't the death of Superman, was it? There's something recent that got released. I saw people talking about. I don't think that's going to cut it right there. That looks pretty darn sloppy. See that? That's pretty sloppy. And for for Silver Surfer, that may stand out. So I'm going to try to clean that up a little bit. Shazam is coming out. That looks like it's going to be kind of cool. Venom. What's up, Justin? Oh my gosh, that scared the crap out of me. Don't do that. Don't press the button when it's on. Abel, you missed it. I already talked about you guys. If you wanna see what I said about you, player, you're gonna have to go back and rewind. Alex was in here though. He can tell you. Those guys are in the East Coast. For all you East Coast guys that are up right now, you guys are crazy. You're probably young people or crazy old people like Abel and Alex. I gotta be careful. I don't want to get down to the peg here. If you guys have an Instagram too, I don't mind you guys dropping your links on the videos. And if YouTube blocks it, after the video's over, I'll go and unblock it. But I would recommend that you leave it down in the, not the live comment, but leave your links. For those of you that are watching me live, I'm good with that. I recognize your name if you've watched my stuff before. Don't mind giving you guys a plug. Again, it's up to the individual person if they like your stuff or not. I don't mind, shoot, people have done it for me. Josh Pence, he's dropped my name a few times, and I appreciate that. He's one of the guys that started approximately the same time, but his channel has gone bigger. DSOs, Sal. And people are gonna have different tastes, different flavors. Like I don't do any Dragon Ball Z or Power Ranger stuff. You will never see that on my channel. And that might be your favorite thing. So I get it. So go watch the people that cover that. This is a fun thing. I'm not making it. This is not a job for me. So, man, that looks terrible. What did I do? You know what I may do, and what I probably, here, I'm going to show you something. what I probably should have done and done it the right way. Let me find my puncher first. Yeah, Art. Actually, I contemplated going to Frankenson's tomorrow with my youngest daughter just to tick her off because she just doesn't like to to be out very much, even though she's pretty funny when she's on video. But I stopped doing the toy hunts just simply because it was getting expensive, and it was very time consuming. And trust me, I enjoyed them. I think some of you guys that are watching this stuff, you may find some of my humor funny too. But maybe I will do one for old time's sake. My last couple ones, I was actually getting better at my editing, but you know, hobby changes. Art, let me know when you're down here, and maybe I'll meet you down there. So to pop off these pegs, what you want to do is, you'll see this side is the head of the peg is bigger than this one. So once you heat it up, and you don't want to heat up the peg, you want to heat up the plastic around the peg, and then you want to push from where the side where it's smaller. So you see how the peg is starting to pop out? Now, I typically use a watch tool. Where the heck is that little watch tool? I don't know where it's at right now. So I'm trying to get this to pop out. Sometimes they pop off a lot easier. There you go. All right, so that's kind of out, and if I had my watch tool, I'd be able to just to grip it and pull it out. I'm trying to use my hand, my nail. Okay, all right, there you go. So I kind of screwed up the peg a little bit. Yeah, so got to be careful because I want to be able to put that back in. So now that's how you're able to remove this type of stuff. See? So that's what you really want to do. You want to break down your figure all the way. And then you'll have more access to shave down the parts. See, that had gotten pretty darn choppy. So now I'm going to be able to just, I'm going to be able to smooth this out. Now, what you don't want to do is you don't want to remove that little nub right there, because that's giving you friction. It's clicking, and that's what's giving you. You see that click, click, click? That's what that is. So you do not want to get rid of that nub. What's up, IE Hunter? That's another guy that does some, speaking of toy hunts, he does them. Oh, Bruno, that's so funny. Bruno was suggesting to do just that. So some people just go about things doing it differently, and I've done this. Actually, I typically do it, but I just didn't do it this time around. Why? I didn't think about it. And it's funny, right when you said it, I started doing it. It's probably because I'm talking and I'm not concentrating. Hold on a second, I'm gonna use this sand right here. I think some people just use the sand. They get a stronger grit. I haven't really tried using a stronger grip, but maybe one of these days I will. And that's how they get the smooth results. Again, my best example is Craig Warwick. I've seen him do, just watch some of his videos that he puts up. He'll just do it right on the figure. He won't even break anything down. Chris is asking if anybody's seen a custom Juggernaut. I have. Some guy is on Instagram is doing one on the Storm Collectibles body. Let me try to use it without heating it up, see what happens. Yeah, I don't think it's gonna go. I probably should have taken the leg, this part off too. But they're using the Sanjeev. And what I have the Marvel Select, which was one of my first figures that I ever purchased. And a while ago, I tried to extend the torso, and I did, but I never repainted it. So I'm actually going to have somebody make me one of those yellow jumpsuits, and I'm going to put the yellow jumpsuit on them and paint the skin tone on the arms. But it's not going to be movie accurate. But it does look cool. Yeah, that Select, man, it's just a wonderful sculpt. The paint job is top notch for a 20. I think I paid like $20 for that figure shipped on Amazon when I got it. It was literally the first superhero figure I ever bought. That was a shout out for those of you guys that watch Park and Rec. Literally. Well, kakapupus, sometimes it does. And part of the reason, you know why it's not having an easy time coming down? Because remember I put that pledge to seal the paint? Well, the pledge definitely got up in here. I need to find that watch tool. Okay, see, that one popped it out. Easy. Easy peasy lemon squeezy. And actually, give me a second. I'm going to see if I can find that watch tool. Where the heck did I put it? It's part of the problem when you customize in your kitchen table. In an area. There she is. So this is the tool I was talking about. I think that was Bearded Customs. I saw him on Instagram, for those of you guys that don't know. There's a lot of good customizers on Instagram, man. A lot of them just won't do this type of stuff on camera because it's not easy to do. And then some guys, the guys that are making a profit off of this stuff, they don't want to show their tips and tricks. If I learn the tips and tricks, please, I will share them, because I couldn't care less. I hope that you make a figure and it looks better than the one that I made. I feel like I want to use a different bit too for this. Hold on a second. Let me try the... Yeah, let's use this guy. I'm missing the comments. I'll take a look at them real quick in a second. Chris Smith, what's going on, dude? I don't know, Chris, about how it will hold up. This head held up more, and you guys saw me just messing around. It's still got a pretty good chrome on it. See, if the rest of the figure was just like that, it just didn't do it. Now, Diletner, the guy that I saw do it, he said that he applied a thinner coat. So, and I did glob that thing on, and that may have been the issue, that I just put too much. But I know over time that's gonna be an issue. So I'm gonna try the spastics, and I'm gonna move on, and maybe in the future they'll come out with like a finish that will protect it better, and then maybe I'll revisit it. But for now, I am donezo. If that makes sense. I'll swing at it again later. I wanted to move on. I didn't want to spend too much time in the Silver Surfer because, to be honest, this is the OG. Like, that's pretty nice, right? The only thing different is I think this is a superior head because I like the expressions on my heads. You know what I mean? And then trying to match this, the spastics is pretty darn close to this. It's pretty darn close to this. So you may get away if you just wanted to do this and use the spastics, because the board, it's essentially the same color as I showed you guys the other day. So there's my thought on that. Yeah, Stigma is saying a thinner coat. So that may have been it. I used maybe too thick of a coat. Oh man, this is way easier. Look at this. I probably should have used a smaller. Oh well. That's not going to be an issue, just to let you know that. But I think I'm going to use a softer sanding on it. And this is definitely smoother. Yeah, the bullseye head is perfect for the Silver Surfer, man. I'm telling you. I'm surprised it didn't repurpose it like that. All you had to do is just take off the ears and cover that bullseye on the front of the head, and you had an alternate perfect head, better than the original head, I think, that even comes with it, which is a nice head. But all right, let me put this back on here so you guys can see. So make sure I'm putting it on back correctly. It's gonna be like this. You want to go in from the bigger end. That's what she said. All right. So for this, what you'll want is a tool like this, and you can just squeeze it on, and boom, you're back in business. Back in business. Again, let me make sure I'm putting in correctly. Go from the bigger end. See how that's bigger end? Put the small peg in first. Maybe there's a better way of doing that. If you know, it will leave marks. However, nothing a little sanding won't help, won't fix. And I feel like this guy is still is sticking out a little bit too much. Coño, lo siento. There we go. Sorry if that's shaking the camera, guys. Weapon X and Mystique look good. I think I'm gonna pass on the Weapon X because I already got a bunch of Wolverines. Now that too many Wolverines there's nothing wrong with more Wolverines, but maybe I'll change my mind. But I definitely won't get it when it first comes out. Maybe if I get it on sale, I'll pick it up later. But I want to get the Build-A-Figure if it's going to be a Build-A-Figure. So I guess since I did it on the legs, I should probably do it on the arms too. It's going to take me longer now. Maybe I'll take the opportunity now to take that little nub that came. I hope that wasn't like a comic accurate thing that I just got rid of. Probably not. I mean, you can go all out on some of these figures, and you know, you can try to get rid of the seam lines. Some people will do that. Sorry about that. I don't know if I'm going to get to Juggernaut. I'm already going 68 minutes here. See, that got rid of that imperfection right there. Yeah, the Mystique does look good. People already started complaining that the gun that it has coming with it is cheap, and it is, but she doesn't need to have a gun. You know, probably, like if this was going to be, if you're going to sell this figure like for $600, you'd want to take it all apart, man. A Marvel Legend for $600, believe it or not. Some of these guys, the work that they put into it, that's what they go for. I've seen some of, I think Loose Collector, who's at the top of the game, top of the food chain with customizers are concerned. His figures sell for crazy amount, but it's, you know, they're phenomenal. They won't have this type of look to it. It'll just be perfection right there. No Gundam model kits. I think my wife built one a while ago, like a small one. Good night, Master Bat. Nice to see you in here. Oh, it's the gun. See, Chris Smith. There you go. So the gun is from the cartoon. It's that small gun. Interesting. It came with the Black Widow's, that was the Black Widow gun also. Try rubbing the edge of the seam line with the X-Acto knife. Let me see. Oh, crap. I hit the wrong thing. Let me... So Bruno's saying, do it perpendicular to the seam line to cut most of the exit and then sand the rest. Okay, so what he's saying, cool. Let's try it out. Let me get my better X-Acto knife. There it is, right here. Okay, so why don't we do that seam right there, Bruno? So, good night, Chris. So what you're saying right here is cutting perpendicular like this. Before I started, I just want you to confirm. '90s version Apocalypse. No, I think I have one Apocalypse in my collection already that I customized, so I think that's where I end there. So Bruno, just confirm with me if this is what you mean. Okay, cool. All right, let's do it. Should I heat it up? Oh, it looks like it's just gonna... So Bruno, I'm gonna guess that you do Gundam models, right? Because I know that, and as you can see, some of that plastic is coming off on this seam right here. And that's just gonna speed up the sanding process. The first time I've ever done that, by the way. Never done that before. Let me see. Do it on this side too. And now the Gundam guys, they go crazy. They used like, I think one of the guys told me that they used like a 10,000 grit paper. Oh, you made them a couple years ago? Okay. I probably should have gotten a new blade to try this, but hey. On the spot, I am definitely not going to get to magnets or toe articulation here on this one. This is where the seam line would be the most. See that right there? That's where you would know where to crack the figure open. If you want to learn how to crack a figure open, I did do one. I think that's where I'm going to stop right there with that, guys. And I'm just going to take the sandpaper to it. Again, even with that seam, it's going to be fine. It's just going to be fine. Trying to see if that mark was in the mold or not. I can't tell because obviously the paint's there. But I noticed that came up. Let me see if it's just the... All right, so check out that. That looks pretty smooth. It almost looks like the factory one. But that's because I removed it. Let's try to remove this guy without heating it up. See if it'll sneak out. Ho! Nope. It actually just helped destroy the peg. Yay. we go. Boom. You've heard me say this probably before if you've watched me heating these things up. You want to do it off this green mat because it will warp the mat if you put heat on it. So don't put heat on it. The one in the background, oh, there you go. It came all the way out. Perfect. So the watch tool actually, for this case, it works better than this punch. I did. Found it useful. Thank you, Bruno. Super Dave, I've been doing this for the last hour or so, and you haven't missed much. We're just chatting it up here. And I'm just joint prepping Silver Surfer for my second attempt at doing a repaint. I put some of this stuff out on Facebook, and I like seeing the reactions from some people. Like I put it out there just so people, hey, you want to give it a try? Cool, come do it. So when I give it a try and I failed, I put that up there too because I don't want to just put it. I want people to know it's just part of the process, right? You screw something up, this is how you go about fixing it, or you can use that chrome pen. I just wouldn't recommend it for like a full body application. Maybe if it's like just for like a little part that most likely won't get touched when you're moving it, then go for it, right? But I get some of the funniest reactions is like people take it personal. Like some guy, and if you're in here, I'm not trying to be rude, player, but this guy was like, the paint is perfect. Ah. It doesn't need to be repainted. Well, no, man, you don't. Absolutely not. It doesn't need to do anything. You don't need to do customizing. It's just some funny people. It's like, give him a thumbs up. That was my response to him. Cool. I try not to engage in that. Like if it's a legitimate question, like they said, hey man, it looks like, you did this method wrong or whatever. Have you considered doing this? I'm good with answering that. I'm down to learn. when somebody just gets on there and just goes, you don't need to do that. Well, okay. It was like he was offended that I had repainted the Silver Surfer. And you guys have heard me say that, the paint is good. But I wanted that mirrored chrome look. I thought, in my opinion, the mirrored chrome looked better than what the original paint came in with. But it just wasn't sustainable, at least in my experiment. I can't believe you're repainting this figure. Ah! Oh, man, I had a good laugh. I was like, oh, my gosh. Come on, man. I feel like that's going to need a little bit more. Thanks, TDG. Thanks for hopping on. To be honest, it's also encouraging when you guys do hop in here and you interact and you guys ask questions, and even the ones that I missed, I apologize. But it's cool having 37 of you in here right now. This work, the people that they just do this for fun and they get like 15,000 subs. It's a good feeling. It's a good feeling to have subs. It's encouraging. It's like, okay, cool. So my stuff is actually being, watched by more than my family. My family's my number one supporters. My daughters, especially when we did the hunt videos, they really liked those because they were in them. And that's the reason I actually started doing YouTube. I don't know if you guys know, if you've been following me, if you just started following me recently because of the custom stuff. I used to do toy hunt videos. I still have some up there. The first toy hunt, they were pretty long. That was the standard. They were like 25, 30 minutes long. I found that to be just like, it was too much. So I cut them down 15 minutes, which is still a long time to watch those types of videos, even though I did it for a little bit. But frankly, I just got bored of watching the toy hunt videos. And I did the toy hunt videos. I did enjoy them, but like I mentioned, it was just too long, and I really wasn't getting that many views. Like the most I ever had on those toy hunt videos, I think it's barely 1,000, which is a lot for my channel, but not all the toy hunts were not getting that, and there was a lot of effort put into that, man. So it was like, oh, should I do them? Is it worth it? And then it just by happenstance, I stopped doing them because I just didn't have time for them. I was working a lot on. I started working again. I was off because of a surgery, and then I just started working a lot on the weekends, and I wasn't able to do it at the same rate that I was doing it before. But saying all that, you should go look that first toy hunt. I played a practical joke on my wife involving a rancor. Oh my gosh, man. I had the thought about doing is going back and on those toy hunts, because there's some funny parts that I'm sure that even the guys that were subbed and watched my videos a lot and even commented and stuff that they missed. So I want to go back and I want to do like a compilation of the funny stuff that happened, because there were some funny stuff. That rancor thing is one of the best. It was my first video. You guys should go watch that. Skip to just watch the rancor part. You'll have a good laugh. That first video I filmed vertically. A lot of people do that on their first YouTube videos. They think that's how you're supposed to hold the phone, but actually you want to hold it horizontally, like I'm holding it now, because it fills the whole screen. So the first video was all vertically filmed, except for one part, and that was involving the rancor, or one of the rancor angles, because my youngest daughter filmed it on her camera. We set it up in our bedroom. Oh my gosh, that was good times. Let me see what you guys are saying. Matt says he's my number 2 supporter. Thanks, dude. I think I started watching your stuff first, Matt. Now that you said that. Oh, this music in the background right now? That was in one of my latest toy hunt videos. I mean, it's months ago now. Bonus points if you know where that section was from. I'll be really impressed if you know it first. It was perfect for the shot involving this music. I'm having good memory right now, guys. Let me see. Anybody put anything down? Probably not, right? Yeah, I think the only people that would be able to know for sure are my family. And actually, it would probably be my wife would be the one that would get it. Yeah, this is actually free music, Chris. But thank you. I appreciate the heads up. This is no copyright music. And it's the ones that I would have used on my videos anyway. So that music was from one of the, I think I did 2 Brockonomics videos. That's when I yeah, and I appreciate it, Chris. That's when I rolled out Brockonomics at the beginning of the year. And Brockonomics, for those of you that don't know, was my challenge to myself to not spend more than $100 per month on action figures, which is a lot of money, granted. But it definitely, it's helped me rein my collecting habits back. I spent way too much money last year, and that's what, I've used this one too. I've had this one on my videos. I'm sure a lot of people have. This is all free music. Okie dokie. Oh, you did Brockonomics. You employed that, huh, Chris? I needed to. Big time. It wasn't like a responsibility thing. I was still taking care of my responsibilities, but as a grown-ass man should. If you happen to be a kid, juvenile, meaning under the age of 18, and even you young folks that are, college age kids, save your money. Don't spend it on toys. Don't spend it on toys. Don't be me. Your Brockonomics should be much less than $100 a month. All right, so I'm good with that right there. Let's put the probably should have broken down the whole entire figure again, and had it ready to go for the stream, but then you would have missed all the actual live action prep. So I'm gonna say that this would be a good idea. Watch, I'm gonna heat this up. I don't even need to give it a lot of heat, but enough heat just to soften up that plastic. I don't want to soften this plastic up because I need that to be firm from when I'm putting this peg through it, and it should make it easier. And the peg's been bent a little bit too. Make sure I'm in the, oh, that was part of the problem. I was going in through the small hole, player. There you go, got it through. Yeah, exactly. I mean, I just spent $50 on that jacket for Thing. So I'm already halfway through my next month's budget already. because Brockonomics is about to roll over to next month. And so far I've been in the black, but I'm getting close to where I may have to sell a couple things here soon. And I opened my figures, so I don't have that many things in boxes. And there again, I was going through the small hole. It'd be better not to have one that's serrated, or serrated, or whatever you would want to call it. The teeth being that right there, you see that? So I'm gonna try to go up a little bit higher because that won't leave marks. And the previous one was leaving marks, and all I had to do is just make a little bit of an adjustment on here. I just want to make sure it's not too far, so I don't want to cut. All right, so that is good to go. Yeah, that shouldn't have joint rub. Now this part right here will. I've never taken it off this peg. I'm afraid to break that peg. I'm sure there's a way to do it, and some of these guys do it. I don't want to do it. So I am just gonna do this instead. Actually, a lot of the customizers don't cover up the peg holes, which I'm kind of shocked, to be honest. Some of the top dudes too. It's not like I'm not a pro sculptor or anything, but I've worked with a little bit of sculpt. It's for some reason it's really hard to cover that peg hole and make it look natural. Especially if it's not like a clothed figure, like for example, Daredevil. You know what I did with? Oh, that's another one I've been customizing. One that I hadn't mentioned yet. So Daredevil, he had this pants, so you can make it look like wrinkles around this area. But Silver Surfer, he doesn't have a pants. It's just his body. Yeah, that's gonna be hard to get. By the way, if those of you guys that do customizing and you have the experience and you know something works, put it down. Especially some people on here are asking questions. Please do. I am good with it. Let's share the knowledge and make our customs look better. I've noticed that some of the guys that use the epoxy stuff, to smooth out the epoxy, they use rubbing alcohol. And I had recently gotten some sort of solution that you put on it after the clay is cured a little bit, to smooth it out too. So I'll be showing that, my next time I do some sculpting on camera. I'll do that. Oh, what's up, Sandman? There's the guy here right there. He's the one that won the Matt's giveaway. Toys R Us Dio. We were talking about you earlier, Harry. You know, my birthday's coming up here pretty soon, Blair. My daughter's watching Park and Rec. I hope that the music's not coming out because that will get me a violation. Okay, so I think that's gonna be good for, I just gotta be careful not to go in like that because that will definitely hit. And I just don't want to do hit when I'm doing this type of movement right here. Let me see. It's close. I use Duplicolor as the primer, and that's sandable, so we're good to go on that. All right, let's get rid of, let's sand down these disc joints right here. All right, cool. Oh, you know I do. You know I do, Harry. Hey, I got a Toys R Us exclusive Star Wars pop that I'd trade you for it, and maybe some other goodies. But I don't think you collect pops, right, Harry? I got the Boba Fett on Slave 1. Oh, maybe you want 31-ish pops. Let me know. I'll include that one in our trade, Harry, if you want to do a trade. Yeah, me too. I just wanted one with, Boba Fett. That one hasn't been opened too. It's minty fresh. Yeah, I get the whole pot. I mean, they're, using my wife's words, cute. They're cute, the pops. Fly you to California? That's expensive. Pops are a big deal, man. People really go nuts over them, and I get it because, when I got into Star Wars, some of the Star Wars pops were coming out. I'm like, ooh, I gotta have that. Ooh, I want that. But Brockonomics really kept me in check. Come on, girl. So this one's really hard to get out. And again, it's because that Pledge floor shine that I put on it. Let me see what Harry's saying. Economy class is fine. Hey, man, you don't want to come to California. Ultra liberal, gets hot as all can get. You know, I think I want to move out of state, but you know what they say, the grass is always greener on the other side. So if you get a variable speed Dremel, this part right here, you really should be careful because you can take off a lot of plastic very easy on that setting. So you want to go, that's the benefit of having this variable speed because it won't take off that much. ¿Dónde está? There it is. If you're wondering how I got this spongy thing, this is the sandpaper that you're supposed to use on drywall, and I just cut it. I think it's like 300 grit or 250 grit. And for those of you that don't know, the lower the grit, so let's say 200 as opposed to 1,000, it means it's coarser and it won't leave things as smooth. Whereas if you get, you know, the higher you go, and I think the other paper right here, this guy right here, this guy's a 600 grit. So what you typically want to do is you want to start with a low grit and then work your way down, or up, I should say, and it'll smooth the coarseness out. So you see, like this is pretty coarse, but it won't. You need to go with like a stronger grit to get it to come off, and then once you get it to come off, then you come back in with the higher grit, the finer grit, I should say, and then it smooths the area out. Yeah, just you know, this isn't very sharp. However, yeah, that would definitely hurt. And sometimes I do. I nick myself. There's people that have cut themselves that probably had to have stitches doing custom work. It's a dangerous, dangerous world. In the custom world. Make sure I put this on correct. Okay. Go to the bigger hole. Bigger holes on the inside. Coño. You know what I should have done? I should have heated it up. Why don't I do that? Yeah, I've cut myself with the X-Acto. Yeah, and Bruno points out a good thing. They do have arrows, but you know what, guys? My eyesight is not what it used to be. So it's just not what it used to be. So I have to do other visual clues to make sure I'm going in the right direction. Unless these are, let me see what Bruno said again. Yeah, it's kind of hard to see if it's an arrow or not. You see that? So I think it's supposed to be like this, actually. Yeah, I just couldn't tell if that's an arrow. Does that look like an arrow to you? Looks like a JT. I'm just not seeing the arrow. So did I put that on wrong then? I think I put that on correct. No, it doesn't feel like it is correct. Did I do it wrong? Now you got me. Now you got me thinking. Bearded Customs. Let's go. That's it. So did I put this one on wrong? Can't tell. Just got a low battery notification. Hey, what's up, Carlos? No, this is part one. I had to redo the surfer. So you think that is the arrow then? So then we're good. So up would be. So what you're saying is this. It's just pointing up like this. Yeah, the Molotov was disappointed, man. All right, so then Bearded Customs, so we're good on that. That's just it's pointing up like this. It's kind of hard to tell on that one, but it looks like we're good. Let me heat this up. Yeah, I was really disappointed on Molotov because I'm telling you, it looks awesome. But then when you try to handle the figure, it just doesn't stick. And what's crazy is some of it is sticking. So part of me thinks, well, man, maybe I just missed something that I didn't. There was something that I didn't do right. But I've had so many people comment on the video. You guys should check it out. That they've had the same thing, that it wears out over time. That the more you touch it, the worse it gets. And not that where did it go? Not that I play with my figures that much, not that I'm posing them constantly, but I do wanted to have a finish that I can just grab and exchange a hand or a head and not have to worry about the paint being affected. You know what I mean? So for my taste, it's not gonna be something that I'm gonna use for a full body. I may try it on a smaller part. I think I saw Mike De La Paz, he used it on an Omega Red, and he used it on the gloves, and I think on the cheeks. And he may have actually used it on the tendrils. Let me see what you guys are saying. Did I just see somebody get in an accident? Well, I'm pretty sure if you were, I think was that you, Chris? Oh, dang. Somebody rear-ended you? You're going to be sore tomorrow if that happened today. And then the day after that will be even worse. Second day's always the sorest. All right, then the final. Oh, did I not do that arm? I haven't done that arm yet, have I? I can tell. Shoot. Here, I thought I was gonna be done. Oh, last Thursday. Well, I'm glad you're doing better. Hey, Carlos, now that I have you, if you're still on here, I'm not sure if you jumped out. Carlos is an administrator at one of the largest Marvel Legends collecting website. And is that website, because I feel like maybe I shouldn't be posting my videos on there. I just realized that the other day. That is it primarily a website or a Facebook group, I should say. It's not a website. It's a Facebook group that you just sell and trade figures on. I try to read through every group that I'm on. I always try to make sure that I'm following the rules. But no one's contacted me if I'm not supposed to put my videos on there. And I try not to put every single video, only videos that I think would be helpful, like the custom stuff. Oh, gotcha. Well, okay, good. I was a little nervous on it. I was like, man, I could have sworn I had read through all this stuff because I've been on part of that webpage for quite a while. I can imagine that's hard to moderate. I think there's like 15,000 people in there. That's a lot of people. It's got to be hard to manage, especially with some of the collectors that we have, the maturity levels, depending on age, and then even some of the older people can be pretty immature. Okay, cool. Thanks, Carlos. I thought that you had mentioned that to me. I had seen that somewhere, but I'm going, man, did I just imagine this? Yeah, almost 20,000. Yeah, it's a humongous. It's a humongous group. It's a good resource to have. I've bought quite a few figures on there that I've used for customs. Yeah, Marvel Legends Collecting. Sorry, I thought I had said the name. Oh, hey, thanks, Jorge. That's good to hear, Jorge. I'm happy to hear that it helped you. What particular aspect, or was it a specific video? Be curious what you did, and please, if you have an Instagram, and you happen to use the technique, or you just want to, hey, what do you think about this custom? I love looking at custom stuff, man. It's good entertainment for me. And yeah, if you want my opinion on something, sometimes I won't be able to take you through a step-to-step process, but if it's something that I know it's coming up, or if I have a video out already, be more than happy to point you in the right direction. And if I have time to take you through a step-by-step, then I will. If it's during the week, I typically won't. And then I do work on weekends a lot for overtime. All right, so I think that's going to be it for that. And then I have to do the neck joint, and then I'll be done with this guy. For now, because now what will happen is once I prime them, and this guy, what I'm going to do, I got to see if I can spray a glossy black, because the primer that I have is more of a flat black. And since I'm going to be using that Spastics, what you're supposed to do is you're supposed to have it under, you're supposed to paint it over a glossy black. For some reason, a glossy black helps it come out chromier. And the wings that I painted, I didn't use the that. I used just a flat black, so maybe I'll try it. Okay, all right, cool. I can stop it at it. My fingers are starting to get sore, so I can use a break. Let me see if I can give it some room. All right, so I've been wanting to customize a Juggernaut for quite some time, and the Build-A-Figure was obviously very cool, but there was just something that was missing for me on the Build-A-Figure. The width of the chest. Obviously, the Juggernaut's huge. And I had seen someone do a custom. I'm trying to think of which. It may have been Toy Cooker. He had used a rhino torso, and there's just something I like. How about I film it? There you go. So I had planned on it, and I had different arms on here, but then the Juggernaut Build-A-Figure came. I'm like going, oh, you know what? I'm gonna see if I can do just a quick kit bash. I like it. See, I like it. I like the proportion. There's just something about this look that for my sensibilities, I dig. And then I had the Toy Biz head. And what I did is I modified, this is quite a while ago, I modified the Rhino head and the Toy Biz head to go on here. And as you can see, there's the Toy Biz head. I took this from the Toy Biz one also. And I've been meaning to customize this guy. Now you'll see that this guy, the head will move, and it's like a fuller helmet. I just like it better, right? So that's what that's all about. And I did this about whenever the Juggernaut BAF came out. I picked up the parts and I modified the arms to fit into the Juggernaut torso, and then I also modified these legs. And here you can't see. This is before I started. This was even before I did YouTube. Okay, so it goes back for over a year that I did this kit bash, and I just haven't come around and painted it yet. And I'm finally gonna get around to painting it, but I have to do joint prep because even back then I wasn't doing the joint prep that I probably should have been doing. Like I need to do joint prep on the neck peg, on the shoulder pegs here. And there you have it. I did it. This is not sculpting, this is rubber from an iPad that I took the rubber off the iPad, and that's where I got that from. So that's what's up with that Juggernaut. Thanks, Carlos. Yeah, I appreciate that. What I'm planning on doing an unmasked version, and I just bought a head that I think I'm going to use. We'll see. I bought it from the oh shoot, which is the guy that makes the heads. There's a couple dudes that I buy heads from. It wasn't Pat's Collectibles. It's I think it's Star Wars Geek. I think his name is Jokaphobe on Instagram. And I just bought quite a few heads actually from him, and they'll be coming in. I think it's a month that he takes. It takes a long, he's got a big boy job too. So we'll see. The unmasked head, I think, may be a customized a select that's been shrunken down, and some of the hair. If not, I'll just use another. Maybe I could just use the regular. I have another one. I have another Toy Biz Juggernaut head that I could use. So we'll see. Did I do the shoulders already? Yeah, I did do the shoulders already. Okay, good. Let me put these arms back now. Coño. So I think as soon as I do the neck, I'll call it a night. I mean, we've been on here for a while. Some of you guys have been on here for as long as I have. Thanks, Chris. Oh, I'm gonna keep that head, but the unmasked head, I'm gonna plan. I'm doing like something I can change out. Unhelmeted head is what I meant to say. All right, let's get this guy back on here. Oh, forgot to put this on here. Okay, good. I put it on correctly. My daughter is watching Parks and Rec right now, and it's Chris Pratt he's trying to get into the police academy. Dude, Chris Pratt on this TV show, so funny. Oh my gosh. My favorite my favorite two characters on that show is Chris Pratt and the guy that plays Ron Swanson. Comedy gold, those two. What's up, Ricky? Okay, now I gotta change out bits. Flat pliers to pull back pins. Flat pliers to pull back. Oh, to put. Yeah, yeah, exactly. I have mentioned that before. You're talking about this, like the little serrated edge. I'm not sure what other word to use for that. I'm not sure if serrated is the right word, but you're talking about that. And what you want to have is like a flat. Is that what you're meaning? And if that's what you're meaning, absolutely correct. There you go, the teeth. And I just don't have them. I'm not much of a tool guy, but I probably could use this, and I mentioned that I try to use this part. Thanks, Southtown. It does. There's just something about him. He's definitely not as big as the Baff because the chest is not as wide, but there's just something about it that it really appeals to me, how it aesthetically looks. So hopefully I'm able to, take down where the paint rub areas are going to be, and then when I paint them up, I'm going to use an airbrush, and I'm hoping that thing's going to be a thing of beauty. So I feel it. I feel it he's got a lot of potential. And that's why I've been putting him off for such a long time, because I'm actually kind of afraid to get after that one and paint him. But hopefully it's going to be a positive result. Let's see what I want to use. Do I want to use this one? No, let's try to use... Let's use that one. Let me take a look at the comments real quick. Yeah, it's definitely a good suggestion, and I've noticed it because it does leave marks that I have to go back and sand, so it's making my life, like for example right there, it's making my my work, it's doubling my work, I suppose. But you know, sometimes this is like a spur of the moment, and so I just have to remember that I have to get myself like a flat plier. I've had that thought actually for a couple of years now, and I still haven't gotten the flat plier. So I always end up sanding the stuff down after I do this. Pretty silly. I know his head's not gonna go back that far, but. I mentioned that this is good to, like I said, if I just didn't feel like I needed to do it for this guy, or really needed to do it at all, because I'm not doing any kit bashing on this Silver Surfer. But obviously, if you separate if you crack the torso, you can get to this neck peg pretty easily. Yeah, absolutely, man. Any tricks or suggestions? Trust me, I appreciate it, even if I already know the answer. Because you know what, I may have not thought about talking about it, and somebody on here will benefit from it. I'm good with that. That was probably out of frame for you in the dark a little bit. All right, let's see how, I think that might be enough. Now, one thing I did notice it when I was putting the bullseye, it's that part, you see, it's still a little bit too tight, so I'm gonna have to open that hole up a little bit, but I don't want to open it up too much because I don't want to have to do the hot glue method if I don't have to. So I think I'm just gonna shave a little bit here while I was thinking about it. Good night, Chris. Let's see if that gets it to where I want it. Because I did notice I was rubbing a little bit on the neck with this head. Yeah, you hear that sound? That's plastic on plastic. And you really don't want that on your figure, because even though this is going to be a pretty strong neck peg, I've had neck pegs break on me, and then I have to do some shimmy sham to get it to work again. So anytime you hear that type of sound, you want to widen it out. I have a different tool I typically use for this, but there's not that much to shave down, I don't think. I could be wrong. Okay, that's almost perfect. And I like having the figure to be able to, the head to go like side to side a little bit. So I'm gonna do just a little bit more, and I think I'll be where I want to be with this head. So what I'm just going in here. And widening that out. And that may have done it. I don't like this. I don't like that sound. You can also reduce here, but I prefer to work with the head because there's more room for air. So typically I use this bit right here. It's almost like shaped perfectly for that type of peg. But I didn't want to switch it out because I felt like I may have to do a little bit more on the neck. Let me do a little bit more on the neck here just in case, and then I'll switch out. Oh, I think George just got in the house. I saw somebody say what's up to plastic. George, are you up in here now, George? It is. It's been going for a really long time. Let me see. 134 minutes, so 2 hours. Sanding joints down. Hey, George, I saw you posting nude pictures of yourself on Facebook. Good for you, player. I saw that. You're still in that good a shape? Well, it's 8 p.m., so that means it's, what is it, 10 over here? I don't even know what time it is. Sorry if this is shaking the camera up a little bit. Speaking earlier, what happened to that the sticker? I think it's, did it go hiding in here? Yeah, there it is. George is part of Open Box Mafia. I was talking about these group later. George is part of a bunch of groups. You guys know him as Plastic Attic, of course. Speaking of Open Box Mafia, should I bring back the sticker? Caesar's one of the two guys that started Open Box Mafia. And their groups, man, I think they're close to being over 2,000. Yeah, so Plastic, I think he's an admin now. Admin or a moderator. I think he may be an admin over at Open Box Mafia. And like I mentioned earlier, it's become, I've been there I think since day one, and it's a really good interactive group. Not too many pretentious people up in there. You know, there's always some dodo heads in every group. But I really like being a part of that group because you can get into some good discussions. They're usually pretty good about having information and including people in their conversation. They're fairly inclusive of all types of nerds. You can like Star Wars, Marvel Legends. There's a lot of Dragon Ball Z fans. I don't know why, but anyway, Dragon Ball Z, Mighty Morphin Power Rangers. They have it all up in there. Model kits. And I think they're about to hit 2,000 members up on Facebook. They got ACBA competitions on there. And they got stickers. And they got stickers. Yeah, you know, these pens are really cool. They definitely have a purpose. I have a friend that used it on his car dashboard, and he says he hasn't had the same issue. And I'm wondering, it could be the type of plastic. I really don't know. All I can say is that this marker it was a very, I mean, it looked beautiful. You guys saw that, right? But it had very poor results in retaining the paint. Now, where's this head? Now this head, man, it's pretty darn good. Now, obviously, I mean, I've been manhandling this thing. Look, the chrome's on it. So I don't know what to think. It could have been that the amount necessary to cover all these crevices, right? That the amount that it took, I don't know. I don't know. All right, so I think I'm done with the neck. I did these guys already. I have to smooth that out a little bit. I still have to work on these hands. I have to work on those hands. I have to dechrome those hands. And the chrome is actually, yeah, this was the one I was painting, Caesar. The chrome just did not take on the majority of the body. Beautiful result, but it did not have a staying power. So I have to go back and redo these. Yeah, so I don't know. It may have been the way I applied it. I don't know. And I did put Pledge Floor Shine on these, and I mean, to me, if the body would have lasted like here, I would have been good with it. I would have just been more careful with handling. I probably wouldn't have handled it with my bare hands. So I'm moving on, and I'm just gonna try the spastics. It's my, experiment. And it's also gonna, and when I noticed at first, it was when I was gonna do the feet. I was gonna put when I put the feet on, it left my thumbprint on here after being, like a week hardening, which was pretty disappointing. So at least now I'm gonna go back. I'm going back. I'm prepping the figure. I'm gonna add toe articulation. I'm gonna add a magnets here on the front part of the feet. I'm gonna add these strong magnets, and I'm contemplating. You see this right here? This is what some phones use. It's like a metal part. I'm thinking about cutting part of this and then putting it underneath the bottom part of the board. So it gives me longer stretches. So I can put the feet, you know, facing forward or facing sideways on the board. But I haven't decided exactly what I'm going to do. That's just an idea. Oh, heck yeah. Toe articulation for this figure is a must. He's not getting any toe articulation. He's going to stay just like that unless I change my mind. I wish they would just add the toe articulation to the figures like the Toy Biz, because that would have been cool, because there are some, obviously you can get this guy in some poses where that would be beneficial. But you know that for the Silver Surfer would be a huge benefit, because you see him on, that's how he was posed on the comics. A lot of the times he's on his toes while he's on his board. Let me see, somebody said something here. Any marker will not stick to plastic that was pre-painted. Airbrush would have been the right way to go. Yeah, and that could be it. I could have had a different result with the airbrush. I didn't want to try that because I'm really just not, I'm not good with the airbrush yet. I'm not good at thinning. And I think I would have had to have thinned that paint to get it through the needle, because it's pretty thick. It's a pretty thick paint. Pat's Collectibles, he's planning on airbrushing it on. I'm just curious. There's only been one other guy that I know has chromed him up, and he's the guy that I got the idea from, Divot'add. And I contacted him. He says that the paint is fine on his. So it could have been how I applied it. However, I've had a lot of people contact me and say that they've pretty much had the same results as I did for different types of projects using the Molotov. There's a few that have said that they tried it on like Colossus arms and it worked fine. No, the stock board does not, Carlos. Here, let me show you. It does not. I'm also thinking about getting rid of the peg. But it would have been, you know, they could have just made it metal, like a light metal, because this is not super heavy. Where did it go? This piece, it's pretty thin. And they could have magnetized. That would have been awesome if they would have done it, but then it would have not given me the joy to do it too, right? Because I enjoyed doing these customs. So I'm planning on maybe just cutting strips and putting them like right here. Or I just got to imagine where I would want them. You know, there's, you know, you got some of your poses with Silver Surfer that you've seen them in the front of the board, and then you have them, you know, with that like almost like a runner's pose, and that's why I want the toe. I want the toe bending right there. You know, the one that pose with the arms going back. That it almost looks like he's almost on his knees, but not really. That type of pose, you know, that pose right there. I want to be able to do that. So I just got to envision it where I want to put it. I know that if I put like one magnet here and one magnet here, then the feet are most likely they're going to be wanting to go here, right? So that's why I'm thinking about doing this. Or use the bigger magnet and put a bigger magnet here, but that may just, you know, actually, if it's the bigger magnet, I may be able to get away with putting it, the location of the foot on the board. I don't know. So I have to think through that a little bit more. Let's see. Unipaint markers. Oh, it's oil-based. Now, did you see that? I'm not sure if you saw the, you may have seen the picture, Caesar. I mean, the finish on the Molotov is like crazy. It's super impressive. I don't even think you can, it doesn't come across. Now, this one, like I said, it's been manhandled, but you can still kind of see but it was more mirrored than, way more, like, I want to say 10 times as mirrored as this. I mean, it was really impressive looking. I don't think you can see much of a difference on it now. You may be able to see a little bit of a difference. But I think it's the only paint that I've seen that has that type of finish. Everybody raves about it, that from just a little bit of research that I did. All right. Yeah, still gotta go for it, dude. I gotta look into that uni paint markers. I haven't seen them. Yeah, Carlos, I think they do. I think one of the older, I can't remember which one. I don't think it's Series 8. No, wait a second. That's Iceman. I don't know which one it is. I'm pretty sure there is one that is magnetized. There you go. The one, the Walmart exclusive. That was before I started collecting these types of figures. I don't know. I mean, it's a cool looking board. Somebody says that it's not as wide as the other one, but I don't have the other one to know. I know that some people have mentioned that the width. It would have been nicer maybe have it a little bit wider. But not to clown on Hasbro, I think this figure is, I mean, out of package, you really don't have to do anything to it. I was just going, oh, you know what? I want to put that Molotov because I saw that Deletner guy on Instagram do it, and it friggin' looks awesome. And the finished product, just go look at some of my Instagram pics. It's phenomenal. It just doesn't hold up, or it didn't hold up for me. Yeah, he needs to be walking all over that board, man, for sure. Now, let me reorganize this over here. I'm coming to the end here. I think the last thing I'm going to do is I'm going to finish winding out that neck peg, or the neck hole in the neck, and then I'll call it quits for tonight. I'll probably be back on this tomorrow if I still feeling. I only do it when I really want, like I feel like customizing. Like the other day, I felt like calling, like taking the day off of work and just customizing the whole day. It was one of those days, but you know, somebody's got to make the money and feed the family, so I didn't do that. But I really wanted to. I just want to take the day off today to custom and play with my toys. So if I feel like customizing again tomorrow, I'll probably be back at it again, or Sunday in the afternoon. Now this thing right here isn't, this isn't a magnet, right? This is just metal. So part of my thought is, this works well for the phones. I need to have the magnet that is gonna, actually I probably won't be able to use those. I could have sworn I had 2 different sets of magnets in here. Uh-oh. Se me desapareció el magnet, chico. Because these are actually going to be too thick for the feet. See, Caesar, you know exactly what I was talking about then. So my dilemma would be is, what magnets will work? Because I need it to be strong enough to hold the surfer on the board. So if I can use this, I have to test it out if it's going to be strong enough with this metal, or if I'm going to have to do the magnet on magnet. I may have to do magnet on magnet because that may be too, even though it's not that thick. That's something else I have to think about. So decisions, but that will come in time. Yeah, it's still making that noise. But this is a must. If you get your Silver Surfer, you need to do this. You saw it when it was painted up. This bullseye head is like made for the Surfer, as much as it was for Bullseye. I think it's my favorite sculpt of 2018, right? It was 2018, right? It was the beginning of the year when the Man-Thing wave came out. Or was it last year? Is this, guys, Carlos, you probably know, man. Yeah, last year, darn it. I'm gonna say this is the head sculpt of this year, the top head sculpt. Yeah, so I mean, it's, I guess it was my favorite head sculpt from last year. Was Black Bolt this year? There you go, July of last year. That was my my anniversary. Yeah, so I really like Black Bolt. The reason I bought that figure was mainly because of that head sculpt, the screaming head. I just love it. Hasbro did a really good job, and whoever sculpted this, I wish I want to like talk to the guy or girl, whoever. It's like, hey, can you please give me some lessons, bro, chick, whatever. So it's still making that noise, but it's getting better, and that actually may just be fine. Let me just do it just one more time, and I'm going to let it go before I wind it out too much. Have I mentioned that I love this head? If I widen it out, I just want to be able to go to the side. What I like on the heads that you can go side to side on, it gives it more expression, right? So when you're posing your figure, like this figure right here, man. Oh my gosh. Yeah, WD-40. I guess I could do that, but it's and it could be being caused by the, see that? It could be just that paint. Let me give it a little sand. I needed to sand the neck over here anyway. Yeah, and I think a lot of people pick Bullseye, now that I'm thinking about it, picked Bullseye as the figure of the year last year. And you know, other than that it was on this body, which is a top notch. It's one of the best Hasbro body Hasbro currently has. It was a plain figure. I mean, Bullseye is plain, right? His uniform, his costume is pretty plain. But people were picking that as the figure of the year. I think it's because of the head sculpt. Yeah, yeah, dude. I had it on here. I'm not sure, Carlos, if you were on here or not, but I had this sucker chromed up, and he had the, yeah, there you go. I had forgotten to take the ears off, and people were I kept on seeing comments, the ears. I'm like, what the heck are these guys talking about? And then I finally realized they were talking about the surfer's ears. And I'm like, son of a gun, I forgot to take off the ears. You know where his ears are right now? Right here. His ears are on Bizarro, on the Bizarro head I'm working on. So that's where Silver Surfer's ears went. And I'm not sure if I put the placement right on the ears and even the angle of the ear, but that's where they're currently staying. All right. I think we're going to be, I'm going to call this a night, 156 minutes. Craziness. All right, let me see. Plastic Addict says, it was because the accessories he came with and that Spider 2099 body. Yeah, for sure. I think it was a very good figure, but in my opinion, I think it got the figure of the year because of this friggin' head sculpt. Look at that. It's just money. Money. All right, guys, thanks for hanging out. I'll catch you maybe tomorrow or on Sunday. I'll go live again and do some more customizing. Thanks for hanging out. You guys have a good night. Good night, Caesar. Peace out. Peeps. Peace.